Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's May 29th, 2016. Yesterday, I put out two videos talking about the rigged NBA and the ritual sacrifice of Bryce Dejean Jones. In those videos, I overlooked some crucial information. So in this video, I want to revisit some of the things I talked about yesterday and also share with you what I just recently discovered. This is important information. Bryce Dejean Jones, he was 23 years old yesterday at the time of his death. He died 85 days before his upcoming birthday. Basketball, in gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, equals 85. He wore the number 31. We just saw in the college basketball championship, Villanova win the first time since 1985, which was 31 years ago. Basketball equals 85 the big way, the small way 31. This guy was number 31. Dead at age 23. Think about LeBron James, number 23, 31 years old. His birthday, August 21st, 1992, that's a date with numerology of 121. The date he died yesterday, numerology of 49. He died in Dallas, supposedly, having gematria of 49. The numbers from Revelation, the book of prophecy, Revelation equals 49 and 121, corresponding perfectly with his birth and death numerology. The Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, they would win later in the day yesterday after his death. Warriors in gematria equals 121 and 49, which is no surprise. The Warriors come from Philadelphia. Philadelphia takes its name from Revelation 3:7 in the Bible. This nation was created by Freemasons who have used the book of Revelation as the playbook since the beginning. They've used it as the playbook in making wars, making news, making history, rigging sports. The book that I am completing starts from the beginning, brings you all the way up to the present, shows a completely undeniable pattern. It's this video times a million, truly. Very redundant. So this guy right here who just died, Bryce Dejean Jones, let's look at his game log. This was his rookie season. He only played from January 21st to February 23rd. He made his debut January 21st, 1/21, 1-2-1, a lot like Revelation. He played his last game against the Washington Wizards on February 23rd. He never played again after. February 25th, not in the game. Never showed up in a game after February 23rd, 2-2-3. At the beginning of the season, I talked about how Flip Saunders, born in Cleveland, died suspiciously. His birthday was February 23rd. I said from the beginning, this looks like a foreshadowing that Cleveland will be back in the NBA Finals. All year, Cleveland, or the NBA, has been running this ad for the Cleveland Cavs. Kyrie Irving, number 2. LeBron, 23. Kevin Love, 0. What are the numbers there? 2-2-3. No love. 2-2-3. Number of the Freemasons. Masonic. 2-2-3. The Synagogue of Satan, the name from Revelation given to the false Jews who are said to rule in the end times. The Synagogue of Satan. 2-2-3. Oklahoma City Thunder, the team the Warriors advanced over, the only team in the league with 2-2-3 gematria, a team that suffered through multiple either ritual sacrifices or fake deaths in the past NBA season. The wife of the head coach, the owner, and the brother of Dion Waiters, who died in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, where the Warriors are originally from. After Flip Saunders' death, the opening game for the Timberwolves, who he coached, was against the Lakers. Before the game, I said watch for a sum of 223 points. The game ended up with a sum of 223 points. Coached the Timberwolves. The Lakers are originally in history from Minnesota. They began as the Minneapolis Lakers. That game took place in the Staples Center. Staples Center equals 49. Lakers equals 66. Revelation, which equals 49, is the 66th book of the Bible. On the 66th day of the year, the Lakers upset the Warriors. Remember, the Lakers and the Warriors are connected through Joe Jellybean Bryant, who was drafted by the Warriors 41 years ago, the 14th overall pick. He would later get traded to Philadelphia, where the Warriors are originally from. He would give birth, or he was the father of Kobe Bryant, who played his high school ball in Philly. This year, the Warriors and Kobe Bryant and the Lakers were the final 2 games of the NBA season. Kobe Bryant equals 41, Golden State equals 41. Joe Jellybean Bryant came into the league 41 years ago. Last night, Klay Thompson scored 41 points. Not a coincidence. Scripted games to the point. Klay Thompson, the son of Michael Thompson, former NBA player. Steph Curry, son of Del Curry, former NBA player. These people are born into these Masonic families. They're all a bunch of sellouts. They are the people who dupe the masses. These athletes are in on the rigging. So this guy playing from January 21st to February 23rd, he finished against Washington. Washington, another location with Gematria 49, named after George Washington, who's buried in Alexandria, Virginia, a location having Gematria 49. A lot of history with George Washington by the numbers, something I cover deeply in the book. The days that this young man played from January 21st to February 23rd, he played for 33 days. 33, the NBA a 33 league, one of my original videos. The day he died was the day of Game 6. It was Jerry West's birthday, the former Los Angeles Laker, the executive for the Warriors now. Yesterday, Game 6, Jerry West's birthday. Notice Game 6 has Gematria of 33. Golden State, when abbreviated, equals 33. Stephen equals 33. 33, often a number of ritual sacrifice. This guy dies just before Game 6. From the date of the last game he played until May 28th, the date of his death, 96 days. Also 13 weeks and 5 days. The number 135 represents the phrase, the key of David, which is a Bible mystery in the verse about Revelation talking to the church of Philadelphia. This thing that's about bringing about prophecy, the key of David, is brought up. In history, Philadelphia was established on a date with numerology of 135. And again, Philadelphia is in Revelation right next to this, the key of David. And then you think about how this guy dies. The Warriors win later in the day, originally from Philadelphia. The Madmen, as I've been explaining, they use their sports leagues along with current events, and they weave them together. A web of interconnected stories through the numbers. That span of 96 days from his last game until his death, Freemason equals 96, one of those big numbers that shows up. Again, this young man's full name in Gematria sums to 239. The United States is 239 years old. This has been a huge number all year. He died connected to New Orleans, just like the recent death of Will Smith, the New Orleans Saint. New Orleans, connected to France. The American Revolution came right before the French Revolution. The French Revolution has a calendar that goes with it, the French Republican calendar, that starts on September 23rd, 23/9. We just saw a plane disappear out of France 239 days into the French Republican calendar. It was connected to the missing Malaysian flight that had 239 people on board. The plane that just disappeared was Flight 804. It disappeared 804 days after the Malaysian plane. On February 27th, the Warriors and the Thunder played. They combined for 239 points. That was on the date February 27th, 2/27, a lot like 227, which is the 49th prime number. Will Smith, the New Orleans Saint, died on April 9th, 4/9, a lot like 49. He died at the same time the MTV Movie Awards were going on, and Will Smith, the actor, was getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. He had just been in the movie Concussion about the NFL. From the date of Will Smith, the New Orleans Saint, to the death of Bryce Dejean Jones, the New Orleans Pelican, 49 days. And again, Prince, they made a big deal about him being at the Warriors and Thunder game on March 3rd. From March 3rd until the day he died, April 21st, 49 days. 49 days, familiar pattern. The game he was at, The Warriors won with 121, just like less than a week earlier when they played the Thunder. They won with 121. Warriors the big way equals 121. I should mention that death equals 118. Now we have a death seemingly connected to this game. Notice from when Prince went to the game to the day he died was 1 month and 18 days. Death in Jewish gematria, 118. In simple English gematria, death equals 38, just like Prince, just like Chanhassen, just like Minnesota. Lots of coding in the death of Prince. Got videos on that. Died in a specific amount of days after the death of Vanity. Apollonia better look out. She's got the same numbers, also connected to Prince. But anyway, that game Prince was at, the Warriors won 121 to 106, a sum of 227 points, the 49th prime. Prince would die 49 days after the game, supposedly. Revelation is the book of prophecy. Revelation 121 like Warriors. Prophecy 106. Last night, Steph Curry touched in the dagger, the 106 points off the backboard. The game finished with 108 points. Golden State Warriors equals 108. Here's where I want to finish, though. Prince talking about how all we can go by is prophecy. Here it is. We're going to listen for a minute.
Line of the song, it says I was born on the same plantation, the United States of the red, white, and blue. And we live in a place now that feels just about like a plantation. We're all indentured servants. When I found out there were 8 presidents before George Washington, I wanted to smack somebody. I wanted to know why I was taught otherwise. Just tell me the whole story. I'll fill in the blanks, but don't tell me something that you think I'm supposed to know.
We're indentured servants and we got a black president now?
Well, I don't vote. I have nothing to do with it. I got no dog in that race.
And for those who would cuss me out and slap me in person, if I didn't ask you why?
Well, the reason why is because I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we've never voted. And that's not to say that I don't think President Obama is a very smart individual, and he seems like he means well. Prophecy is what we all have to go by now.
There it was. Prophecy is what we all have to go by now. And if you're not aware, in 1998, Prince was in Europe talking about how bummed he was that he had to go back to the United States because the people in the U.S. didn't know what was going on, and Osama was getting ready to drop the bomb. The reason Prince knew about that is because these people are part of a gang, of a Masonic network that truly is operating by the book of prophecy every single day and coding it into news stories, again, sports games, wars, and more. It is absolute insanity. It is absolute tyranny. It has to be exposed, People's lives are being ruined, wasted. People are being murdered. Think about the millions of grown men in this nation who can't see through these fake sports games, who are giving their money and their energy, and they're just giving it to tyrants who have no respect for them, who want nothing but to rule over them, lie to them, control them, manipulate them. Where do the coincidences end, All right, truth seeker, until next time.